Hello and welcome to the deep dive for another week. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to check out our website, www.deepdiveau.net, where you can sign up for our exclusive newsletter and surprises along with that. And also you can support us via our Patreon there as well. The link is via our website. Check out our socials, the Deep Dive AU on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook, and our YouTube channel where you can like and subscribe.
This is the Deep Dive Podcast. And here is your host, Michael Coles.
Justin Bruce is an executive manager at Bayley House, supporting adults with intellectual disabilities under the NDIS. 4 years ago, Justin brought the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower program to Australia and New Zealand with the aim of building a more tolerant, understanding and inclusive society for all. Justin is dedicated to promoting the voice of people with disability to build self-advocacy and proudly supporting the workforce who strive every day to make a positive social impact. Justin Bruce, welcome to the Deep Dive.
Well, thank you, Michael. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much. So what is the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower program and its purpose?
Well, the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower program started in 2016 in the UK when people at Gatwick Airport felt that it was a very complex environment for those travellers who had non-visible disabilities trying to navigate their way through. So they tried to work out a way to help people identify themselves as having a non-visible disability and went to their marketing agency who came up with the idea of a sunflower. So that's how it started. And in terms of its purpose, it's really designed to be an icon or a symbol that identifies somebody who previously was not visible to now become visible as having a hidden, non-obvious or an invisible. They're all interchangeable terms, but to describe someone who had a disability that might not be easily identified by somebody else.
Okay, so how can individuals participate in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower program?
So we have a website, hdsunflower.com, and on that website we offer lanyards, lapel pins, wristbands and some other products for people with non-visible disabilities to purchase and have delivered to them so they can wear them when they're out in the community. And they should be able to show those sunflower products to get support at any of our participating members' outlets.
So can you give me an example of what participating members have actually signed up to the Hidden Disability program?
Yeah, look, we brought it to Australia in 2021. And since then, we've made some really big inroads in certain sectors. But what we're trying to do is reach every organisation that has customer-facing staff. So at this stage, most of the major airports, the shopping centres, so info desks at, say, Westfield, Vicinity Group or Stockland shopping centres around the country, a lot of the public transport networks, trams, trains and buses are either on board now and training their staff to be sunflower aware or in the process of doing that. And a lot of destinations, so galleries, museums, sporting venues, and other major events like music festivals and cultural institutions, etc.
Mm-hmm. So what does wearing the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower symbolise?
Well, it's really, the actual icon itself for sunflower is meant to be a bright, positive, happy, engaging, universal design because sunflowers grow almost right across the globe. That sort of signifies that somebody might have a non-visible disability, but that there should be a positive interaction between the wearer and the person who sees that they have that disability. And that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to bring some positivity to that interaction.
Well, it's a fantastic initiative. I know that for a fact. I'm actually wearing the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower myself, lanyard, when I go to airports and shopping centres and so forth. So are there actually any specific guidelines for wearing the Hidden Disability lanyard?
Well, see, that's the beauty of it. We've listed on our website, after running some questionnaires with our sunflower wearers globally, as to what a non-visible disability might be, and that includes medical conditions and disorders. And we've currently listed over 980. So what we're trying to do here is be a universal guiding icon for all of those non-visible disabilities and disorders and medical conditions, in the sense that we don't require you to have a medical certificate or any specifics about your disability. We just, if you identify as having at some time in the day or during the week or, over your lifespan, the need for support, time, patience, a little bit of extra help at any given time, you are entitled to wear a sunflower.
Okay, so how can businesses or organisations support the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower program?
Well, we've also set the website up well so that you can come to our website, hdsunflower.com, join up the program, so enter all of your details as a business or a government organisation or not-for-profit. Select the membership level that's appropriate for you, depending on how many of these products you'll need to support your staff. And then once you've joined the program and have a membership, you can then start training your staff with a very simple to watch awareness training video that goes on your learning management system. And that's a way of making sure that all your staff and volunteers across your network are ready to offer support when somebody wearing a sunflower comes in. And it's meant to be that simple.
Okay, so are there resources or training available on the website as well?
Yeah, so on top of that awareness training module that goes on your learning management system, which starts the conversation with your staff and employee networks, what we also have is a podcast that we run called Sunflower Conversations, and we've interviewed people who are sunflower wearers who advocates for their particular disability and their individual needs and requirements, and they just talk about their experience, their challenges, and their what kind of support that they would like to see and where they'd like to see it. And that's really interesting content for organisations to sort of listen to and share around their networks to get a better understanding of what it might look like to them for their customers. But we also have an index where we list, and this is forever growing, but we list disabilities in the Hidden Disability Network that also explain a little bit about what the condition might present as and what sort of challenges people have and what you can do to assist. So there are other tools and tips on our website that help keep that conversation going in the workplace.
Now, are there any common misconceptions about the program that some people might be aware of or unaware of?
There are lots, but as we build brand awareness around this and more sort of customer awareness, we find that the community is self-regulating and sharing the knowledge with each other to break down those misconceptions. But the ones that I'd like to highlight, I guess, it's a very low-cost, low-involvement, high-impact initiative. So organisations don't need to, it doesn't replace any diversity and inclusion programs they have. It just slots into what they're doing. And really all it's trying to do is, with a simple 7-minute awareness training video, bring your staff up to the level where if somebody chooses to show a sunflower, they can offer them help. So it's starting the conversation about how can I help. The misconception there is that it sounds a bit daunting with training staff. It sounds a bit scary to offer support when we're not trained. The end user with a sunflower generally doesn't expect you to know much about their specific disability or their individual needs. They just want to be valued, heard and seen in the sense of, I'm wearing it, I'm here, can I help you? So that's one of the major misconceptions. I guess that's probably the most important one, is that it's a really simple program and it's low cost. So, if your organisation isn't sunflower friendly yet, get on board and we'll help you to join up, and I'm sure your customers and your staff will be very happy about that.
So I know I'm repeating a question here, but how does the Hidden Disabilities program benefit the individuals with hidden disabilities?
Well, thanks for repeating it. It's probably my fault for answering it too early. Look, it's a good point. The program benefits individuals in the sense that for many years now, people with organisations have been doing great work in diversity and inclusion with a really strong focus primarily on physical disability, on accessibility needs around wheelchair access and mobility requirements. But that's left a lot of people behind, and people, when we look at the statistics, The Australian Bureau of Statistics says roughly 1 in 5 Australians has a disability, and of that, there are estimates around 80 to 85% of those are non-visible. So that means you don't have a wheelchair or a walking stick or a hearing aid device or some assistive technology. You're just out there with nothing that identifies that you might require support. And so what this does is it just brings to light that you may need a bit more time, creating a bit of tolerance and patience in the community.
Yeah, and I think it's awfully important to actually sort of know about, so especially with psychosocial disabilities. So are there any success stories or testimonials from individuals participating in the program?
Hundreds. Every day we monitor our social media where we hear from thousands of Hidden Disabilities Sunflower wearers talking about some really positive experiences. We also have some constructive feedback for organisations. But some of the stories I love to hear, and I'll just cite 2 quick ones. This is a young girl who's part of Little Ass Australia who, really felt quite anxious loves the hurdles, but felt anxious because she always knocked them over and ended up quitting. Put on the Sunflower, calls it, in her words, my super cape, went back to Little Ass and has now been doing it for another 4 years. So it's about true inclusion in that sense, where previously she had excluded herself because she was anxious and nervous about what might happen, but felt supported by the volunteer staff at that organisation to enable her to do it. That's an individual story. Another one is we had a beautiful story of a family who have watched the Australian Open with passion for years and years, but never felt confident to go and attend because that environment is quite complex. But with the Sunflower rolling out with Tennis Australia and across the Australian Open, they felt confident and they went and they brought their entire family, and everybody suddenly, was included and found that event accessible. So we hear that sort of stuff all the time.
So can individuals volunteer or get involved in promoting awareness about the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower program?
Yeah. Again, another great question, and thanks for asking it, because we really rely on, we're a not-for-profit in Melbourne, and we're doing our best to get the word out there with what we have, but we're a small team and we rely on the community to help promote. That means if you are identified as a sunflower wearer, or you know someone who is, and you feel like there's an opportunity for them to get support at their local council, the swimming pool, the library, the info centres, or at a local business or at their workplace, and they're not sunflower friendly yet, please just point them towards our website or to us and we'll talk to them about it. But that'll ensure that you and your family get support when they attend those venues or events.
Okay, sounds fantastic. So are there any future plans or initiatives for expanding the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower program in Australia and New Zealand?
Yeah, constant expansion, and we're really struggling to keep up with the demand because this is a global initiative, as I mentioned, came out of the UK, but it's now across Europe, North and South America, and Australasia, and we're just scrambling to keep up with the interest and the demand. So we're putting on more people if we can, and all of the proceeds go back into growing this program to build that awareness. But again, we do rely on the community at large, including organisations that are members and individuals who are wearers, to help spread the word. And we'll just make sure that the sunflower products get to you, and the organisations have built their ability and their empowerment so that staff will support.
Okay, so how can individuals support and advocate for the Hidden Disability Sunflower program in their local community?
Yeah, I think it's really just about saying to organisations that, embarking on their diversity and inclusion journey at the early stages, or whether they're fully into it, to just consider the Sunflower program for them. So if you go and you represent and you say, I've seen the Sunflower program, I have a sunflower lanyard, I would like to be able to use it here. Is your organisation sunflower friendly? If not, please go and talk to them about it. It's not for everybody, I grant that, but if they at least have the conversation with us, we can guide them in the right direction.
Okay, and what are some ways to educate others about the Hidden Disability Sunflower program? How can they advocate for basically for people on the basically using the Hidden Disability Sunflower lanyard?
Yeah, look, I think as I mentioned, we're trying to get to many customer-facing organisations to train their staff to be sunflower friendly and aware, and to support people who are wearing it. But what we would really like ultimately in society is for people to support other people, regardless of whether they're employed and trained and paid to do so. So if you get on a train, the train driver can't support you, they're driving the train, but other passengers can. So wherever you see someone wearing a sunflower, if you feel confident, please ask them, do they need help? Don't make a public display about it, don't shout it out loud, because often people are private and don't want to expose themselves to any conversation beyond that. And also the sunflower does enable people to not have to disclose any specifics about their disability. So please don't ask someone, to explain or justify their disability. Just all you have to do is say, is there anything I can do to help? And I'm sure that people will appreciate that. And if they don't appreciate it, they have the opportunity to take the sunflower lanyard off and put it in their pocket.
Okay, that makes sense. So are there any partnerships or collaborations with other organisations to further the mission of your program?
Well, yes, there are lots, and we really appreciate opportunities like this to speak about it. So thank you, Michael, for inviting us on to the podcast. We also, partner with a lot of peak bodies, so specialists in their disability fields, particularly neurodiverse groups across Australia who do some incredible work, because once we go into an organisation and say, become sunflower friendly and ask that question, can I help you? There's a what's next. So what if somebody says, I'm autistic perhaps, and I would like support. What we do is we connect up with some of the autistic community groups, so Aspect Autism Australia or Amaze or South Australia Office for Autism, and they can do some work with organisations to build that knowledge and understanding for organisations to support people with disabilities. And we do that with as many different, we're not exclusive, we do it with as many different non-visible disability peak bodies as possible.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. Well, what a fantastic program that you've actually brought to Australia, Justin, and thank you so much for bringing the idea to Australia and making it sort of so visible for other people to actually access and be able to sort of have their rights respected and stuff. So thank you so much for doing all of this. It's been fantastic.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to have a voice and to share with your community, and thank you also for wearing it and being a supporter.
Okay, sounds fantastic. And my daughter and myself are very avid supporters of your program, and we'll be able to be champions at it. So, but thank you so much for being part of the Deep Dive podcast, Justin. And hopefully we'll talk to you at some stage down the track and see what eventuates and see what other things that you've had going on and stuff like that, or developments and stuff like that. I'm keen to see what actually develops out of this program, because I think it's a rather fantastic program.
Well, great. Yeah, thank you, Michael. And in terms of what is coming up next, I would like to mention that hopefully mid to late August we'll be launching with our partnership with Yarra Trams to wrap a tram in sunflowers, so look out for that tram that'll be coming through the streets of Melbourne. All
right, sounds fantastic. Thank you, Justin, for being part of the podcast. And this is the sunflower lanyard that Justin was actually sort of talking about. So you can get these directly from their website and also from various Westfield stores, and also the Stockets are actually on their website as well. This is also what you can get is actually a wristband that you can actually wear, and also one of these, which I'll sort of show right now. It's basically the sunflower pin that you can sort of put on your shirt as well. And for more information on the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower program, go to hdsunflower.com and then select your country. We'll see you next time.